All right. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, and it is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. The 5th of January, AD 2025, and the views expressed here do not represent me, Bond, JLP, Anchor Baby, or anything. Speaking of Anchor Baby, he's back today. Catch American Anchor Baby. And an excellent JLP show. We are back. Happy New Year. Take everything that you hear, think, see, and interpret with a grain of salt, because info here on the Hake Report may be false, but it is so obvious that it is a globe. Shout out, spinning ball. So nice to see you guys again, right? What is up? Jim in Alaska, Cloud Bops, Lord Spike Protein, Mondo, Jail Panye, Brandy, and the rest. Hello to Pastor Chatelet, I imagine, right? Probably raiding the stream. What's up, man? Nice. And others. I should be alive. Let's find out. My punchy's not going. It's trying. Or is it? It'll kick on. Maybe. But we'll be taking your calls, 888-775-3773. And that is to say 888-77-JESSE, as well as your super chats. There were some that I don't think I got to on Christmas Adam, the day before Christmas Eve, which was my most recent show. Almost 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Punchy's not working right now for me. But alas. At least I have my other platforms. The purpose of punchy.tv/Hake is to have a place if all the other platforms fail. But today, punchy.tv is having an issue. All right. It's not my fault, I don't think. Crazy stuff going on in this old here world. Crazy stuff. Top of mind is that our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, grabbed Maduro. And nice. That's a very impressive move there, our greatest president, Trump. Very impressive. And what's impressive about it, in part, is that the people, the Venezuelans, seem happy about it. At least the Venezuelans here in America. That's a cool thing. Doing something strong and popular and possibly even good. Possibly even good. And they may put in a man, not a woman, in charge. You know, I was all confused because the female vice president of Venezuela is now the president, so-called, and she's trying to play politics, which you can't really blame her. And then there's a guy who supposedly rightfully won in Venezuela, and has the support of that woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize, a Venezuelan gal, activist woman. Venezuela. Pretty cool, huh? Interested. You know, Trump, he likes to be unpredictable and take the strong position. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So, who really cares? Our greatest president cares about the whole world. Nice. But, no to redirect. Hey, Hank, what the? I know. I wonder if Pastor Chatelet is rusty. Here, let me see if I can do this. See if it'll work. Confirm raid. Boom. Nice. Sorry. Well, oh my goodness, I'm so rusty. You can... I already covered that part. If we mosey on over here to the Hake Report, and peruse nature, then we might be able to get going with the show here. I did take more video footage. No promises as to when or if that ever gets uploaded for your viewing pleasure. No promises. At all. But thank you guys for the super chats coming in. And let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how y'all doing? I am fine. Look, an osprey. Is that an osprey? Speaking of awesome stuff, I wonder if there was an osprey going over there to pick up Maduro. Maduro. Venezuela. So nice. But like I said, if we mosey over to the Hake Report, we can check out some of these recent and past super chats, y'all. I got super chats to read already. Here from Argalunas. Thank you, sir. No message. And Stephen S. How's it going? With a pair. And there were some Streamlabs. Not Streamlabs. Streamlabs is over here. And thank you, Linya and Chin. I think I'm caught up with you. But if we go to buymeacoffee.com, Lord Bibby42 bought our coffee saying Merry Christmas, Hake, and Happy Birthday, amigo. God bless. And I hadn't caught that in time, I think. And Popcorn said, you know, I was like, is Popcorn trying to entrap me, get me blamed for stuff? Reminds me of that young man, Nick Shirley, who's going over reporting on or exposing seeming corruption and fraud and shenanigans over in Somalia. Oh, you're spreading hate by exposing the dishonest crimes committed by a lot of Somalians, incidentally. Oh, if somebody's going to attack them and it's going to be your fault. I was like, is Popcorn trying to pull that on me like my other former snake? Not that Popcorn's a snake. I'm not saying he is or isn't. But remember my other snake caller whom I had to put at arm's length? Respectfully banned him. He's trying to get me blamed for some imaginary future terrorist attack. Lord have mercy. But Popcorn assures me we just have a difference of opinion on that, on a lot of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a segment of the population that generally view black people as, quote unquote, the problem. And the adolescence of black children doesn't matter to them. They should just have known better, regardless of how old they are. That's an interesting point, Popcorn. People just don't have a clue, grown or young or old, but young people especially. I heard that your brain isn't like all set until like 32, and then it's plateauing. That's what they say. That's what I heard from some guy, some Asian guy. I went on Instagram yesterday and saw that. Age 9 is a major transition for your brain, and age 32, and then age 66, and then age 83. 4 major brain transition times. So shout out to the young black kids. And I've heard, too, that your brain isn't fully developed until age 25. 25. So 25, 32. Yeah, you're supposed to be responsible, but cut people a little slack. Be forgiving. The Inside Edition story, remember he was talking about on Christmas Adam, I call it, Eve. I think it was that day, the 23rd. This story in which Jesse Lee covered a few black young men, kids, stole a Kia. Because Kia, Korean car, they're not used to people stealing. So they make it easy to steal, incidentally. Whereas another young white man, age 7-ish, was a climber, and he borrowed his parents' car and crashed it into some oncoming traffic. Oh, slow crash. Trying to get himself a ice cream or something. The Inside Edition story definitely would have received a different reaction had the kid been black. So claims Popcorn, obviously operating out of his imagination. But maybe I'm wrong on that. Read the YouTube comments. Oh, I have to check that. I'm not saying Jesse's going to provoke anyone to anger, but I am saying his commentary isn't, you see these kids, they're just as angry as you. Yes, forgive them. I did read this, didn't I? It's when they grow up white people, they're coming after you. Well, both of those things are true, and he does say that. There's no different from you. Forgive them. But it is also, they are coming after you. You have to live in the reality world, Popcorn. Anyway, Merry Christmas. And speaking of Joe from Phoenix, I think it was pretty weak to ban him. Just my 2 cents. You quite literally put Mark on hold 6 times one episode as he advocated for people to boycott your show. Mark self-deported, whereas Joe, I had to deport him. That's the way it goes, you know. You and Joe disagree, but I think banning him was wrong. And it wasn't about the disagreement, as I said. It was about the, he's trying to get my show banned, or justifying taking things to court and all kinds of stuff. Justifying what happened to my competitor. And that, to me, is crazy. So there's other callers who've been banned and who've come back and who've been banned again, who'd come back again and don't know. And even they see through that mess. Madness. All right, so I'm moseying down over here on thehakereport.com. I wanted to show you I like to read the official stories, the accepted mainstream media stories. I'm on a mainstream media dominated, polluted, if you will, platform, primarily called YouTube, shout out. And they're talking about on Wikipedia, another mainstream media dominated, polluted, wannabe encyclopedia. You can get, fairly up-to-date and fairly thorough, not completely thorough, information that's accepted. Accepted. On the 3rd of January, 2026, a couple of days ago, Saturday morning, 2 a.m., their time, which is an hour ahead of Eastern time, U.S. military attacked Venezuela, capturing Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, who's older than he. She divorced and remarried. She has like 3 kids. I don't know. But she's been a politician a long time, a Venezuelan lawyer liar. Look at this gal. She's 69 years old. All right? Gonna be 70 in October if she makes it, which, pulling for her, of course. And Nicolás Maduro, 63 years old. And also a politician. He's tall, I think. This guy's height. Let's find out. Height. 6'3". I noticed his height when they were showing him, they were perp walking him. 2 a.m. local time, explosions. Operation Absolute Resolve. They captured the guy. There he is in his flak suit. And that's a blindfold, but it's not a fold. It's actual blacked out goggle things. And then they cover his ears And they say that's Nike Tech. Nike Tech. Black people wear Nike Tech, I heard. I heard of Nike Tech just like 2 weeks ago or 3 because black people started wearing those quarter zips. They call them quarter zips to present themselves better. And it's a sweater thing that you zip. You can zip a quarter of the way down, kind of like a button-up shirt, only it's a zip-up shirt, and it's a sweater thing or sweatshirt thing. And it looks, casual business casual-ish. So they go from wearing Nike Tech, a jumpsuit, tracksuit, warm-ups type thing, zippers, stylish, sweats, to wearing more business-like, presentable. And this is stylish. I see Armenians wear stuff like this, jumpsuits, tracksuits, warm-ups. Armenians like to dress fancy. But anyway, so I don't know if that's what he was wearing when they picked him up or they made him put that on or what. But good job, Maduro. We're pulling for you. Pulling for justice, how about? And then Donald J. Trump and Lil Marco Rubio looking a little bit more grown up and serious now. We'll see what happens. Monitoring from Mar-a-Lago. From Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida. That's cool. Very nice. And Venezuela has a lot of oil. 80% of their business or something like that, according to Morning Brew, what I was reading this morning, 80% of it is sold on the black market. Wow. Whatever the black market is, I don't know, but it's not going by whatever. They're shystery, in other words. They're shystery. And a lot of that, big customers of that black market, seemingly, according to Morning Brew, Russia and China. Wow, so Russia and China aren't the honest opponents like we thought they were. And America's not that honest. It's gotten corrupted and corrupt. Gotten? Or has always been? I don't know. Well, there he is. He has a whole nother outfit. He has his thumbs up. Is this? What? Let me see this. He arrived in New York. He's giving a thumbs up. Is that a thumbs up under duress? Or is he just has in good spirits? And they're like, hey, big fan. Hey. There was video of him saying, come get me. And so they came and got him. There's the woman who's trying to be president. Delia Rodriguez. Vice president turned president. Ordered to be president. She's like, Nicolas Maduro is the real president. And this was illegal. And then in front, when they're talking, when he called her, Trump called her, oh, I'll work with you. And then she's like, I didn't say I'd work with him. So anyway, who knows what's really going on? But I would think that you would have to play both sides and be like ready for anything. Ready for him to come back. Because say the courts say, no, you can't take him. You got to put him back. Like what they did to the illegal whom we tried to deport. You got to bring him back. Avrego Garcia. Remember that guy? Demonstrations. It's funny that they show the demonstrations against the attack. Primarily, the demonstrations are in favor of the attack. Seemingly. Of the people who actually know what's going on. The Venezuelan people. Seemingly. From what I saw, the men, the gals, celebrating in Santiago, Chile. Chile? Look at all those flags. American flags, too. Inflation out of control. I saw this propaganda video. It was going around. This guy, what's that guy's name? let's see. Lord have mercy. I'm such a boomer. The guy from The Office, the actor, and now he's like this serious action international spy star type thing. And he was giving this speech on this TV show. I think it's a TV series, TV show. And he used to be a funny / mildly handsome guy on a comedy TV show, The Office, the American version, the good version, right? Kidding, I don't know, I don't care. And Jim, I think was his name. And now he's giving a speech, and it's a TV speech, talking about who is our greatest enemy, our biggest threat to America. Russia, China, North Korea, some other country. How about Venezuela? They have all this oil, and they have this guy who's a dictator, didn't mention that he's communist. Communist, right? It's quite sort of a communist socialist guy, causing all this inflation like crazy. Remember the Biden-inflation, and remember the communist shutdowns in the name of the China virus, also causing all that inflation and messing up the businesses. Trump wanted to reopen, and they didn't want to reopen. The local commies, state commies, and international commies. And then he's saying, oh, well, the guy, Jim, not to be confused with Jim in Alaska. Oh, well, there's this woman who's running, and the best part about her is she's not a beep hole. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but you want one of those who's able to be kind of like a jerk. Don't say that, kids. Or a boop hole. To run the show. You got to be tough. That's the only thing I liked about Maduro. Well, I don't know anything about Maduro, but you have to be pretty tough to take office and to keep it and to rule with strength, whether for good or bad. You know, the best artists, total jerks, tough to work with. The best whatever. Trump, tough to work with. He will work with you, but he's tough. And he talks about all these other people, tough to work with. You're supposed to be that. But he said, oh, she's a social justice. Social justice, the last thing Venezuela needs. Venezuela does not need social justice. The world does not need social justice because, as we all know, social justice is not justice. Kevin says, correction, Hake. They had all that oil. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. So Jim's little story about Venezuela, communist Hollywood propaganda, not mentioning that he's a communist, and that woman is not supposed to run the show. The woman who they were all excited about endorsed the guy who was supposed to have won the election down in Venezuela, because they say, oh, it was voter shenanigans. They're saying it was voter fraud. Interesting that they had supposedly voter fraud or whatever they are, fraudulent election shenanigans over there, but they're not admitting what happened over here. I don't know. Speaking of, meanwhile in America, if we go back over here, I wanted to talk about the shenanigans over here. Let's see. So, and you know how we have these Somalis over here doing the different fraud? A guy named Dustin Grage, who's a guy on the internet, husband, father, columnist at Town Hall. Okay? He's on X. Said, listen, the Somali Medicaid fraud. Remember Medicaid? We forgot about the Medicaid fraud because we're talking about the daycare fraud now. Alleged. Medicaid fraud is bad, but people need to understand that voter fraud, according to him, I'm disclaiming, of course, I don't know, is happening in Minnesota too. Minnesota. I wonder if the Somalis pronounce it the Minnesota. I wonder if they have a Minnesota accent. Last week, we uncovered a Somali voter fraud operation, claims this town hall reporter, right-winger, so-called. Sadly, it will probably not be the last. This is just the tip of the iceberg, surmises he. Fraud thrives when accountability disappears. We are going to keep digging until every rock is turned over, says he. Stated he back in December 26th. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if I have more from this. Oregon, too. According to Andy No, independent journalist guy, the Asian man who covers Antifa. Oregon, like Minnesota, has power concentrated in the hands of Democrats. My home state this year declined to prosecute any of the foreign nationals who were discovered to have voted illegally. And that makes me think, all I ever hear about, they say, oh, conservatives do the gerrymandering. Anytime they catch voter fraud, it's by conservatives. It's Republicans doing voter fraud. And I'm like, well, Democrats are in power, and Democrats, my friends who are election workers, they're Democrats. Some of them are kind of like illegals too, or anchor babies. And so I'm like, if they were in a state that mattered, because California doesn't matter, it's so corrupted now by, it's so, the demographics have destinied California for HE double toothpicks. So they don't need to do any fraud, because the shenanigans with the illegals and the immigration and the brainwashing and everything else, they don't even have to cheat. The cheating is already somewhere else. It's in the immigration. So the elections are permanently slanted. They don't have to pull any extra shenanigans. But if they were in a place that had to cheat, that had pressure to cheat, they would probably cheat. I wouldn't put it past anybody. None of the state workers who registered those people to vote, state workers registered over 1,600 ineligible people to vote, and none of those state workers were prosecuted. The local media, including publicly funded ones like OPB, which is Oregon something or other, shout out, you Oregon people. Oregon Public Broadcasting, giving voice to the community, communist dog whistle, connecting Oregon and its neighbors, N-word, neighbors, illuminating a wider world. And they're not tweeting anymore on Twitter or X because Elon took over. Probably. They haven't posted since April of 2023. I guess it's around the time that Elon posted or took over Twitter and made it X. So they're liberals, publicly funded. They're mostly focusing on inciting violence against federal immigration officials, says Andy No. Wow. New York Times bestselling journalist, senior editor of the Post Millennial. Shout out, Andy No. They didn't call Minneapolis the Portland, as in Oregon, of the Midwest for nothing. Much of the same issues, powers concentrated from Antifa and the DSA, Democratic Socialists, something or other. Crazy, huh? Voter shenanigans in America. And we're talking about Venezuela. Scott Adams, who's, to my knowledge, still kicking, right? Is he still kicking? Dilbert, author, smart man. We're probably losing $1 trillion a year to fraud, says he. The deficit numbers, government spending, didn't smell right any other way. We don't have a government spending problem so much as we have a total lack of audit controls on that spending. And he quote tweets Steve Guest, as I I don't know if he's involved with the Wall Street Journal, but Steve Guest shows this Wall Street Journal Rhino outlet, by the way. Something profoundly wrong with the U.S. welfare system. A problem running deeper, far deeper, more dangerous than the shocking fraud in Minnesota been making headlines. Real federal welfare spending has soared by 765%. In what time, not sure. More than twice as fast as total federal spending. And now costs $1.4 trillion annually, where that money simply doled out evenly to the 19.8 million families the government defines as poor. Each household would receive more than $70,000 a year. The government gives tens of thousands of dollars to benefits to the poor, which it doesn't count as income. Crazy, huh? And there's these gals, supposedly conservative gals, saying work requirements, drug testing, mass deportations. Yes, the deportations would help. I don't even believe in giving any of this stuff. So get rid of the. I get that we kind of still. You're not going to stop giving it, but if we cut giving it, then it would be better. I think. Let me repost that. I say. Then you wouldn't even have to do the work requirement or drug testing, because that's just more work for something that these people should be working themselves. This person, Cernovich, wants to deport all the people in this video. Check this out.
Is cut. I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand. Fraud is bad.
That's a Somali gal. She covered her mouth. And now she's like, I don't get why she's Minnesota mom. Panicking. Hey, that's that woman.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or
This
go
one?
to school. I understand. Fraud is bad.
She's saying if childcare is cut, she's unable to work or go to school. That's the lieutenant governess woman, right? The one who's part American Indian and part Irish. Am I wrong that the Irish mix more? Anecdotally, the Irish tend to mix a lot. It's okay. It's okay. These women. So Cernovich wants to deport all the people in there. Shout out. What a mess. I think, but I'm not sure, that that's the lieutenant governess who looked like a hostage in a hijab in that video that JLP played this morning on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Panicking after seeing fraud is bad in her script. The Somalis look different from other Africans. They're North African, huh? So they're kind of mixed with the Arabs. Is that why they look different? You see that? You see that? Women. And then last quick thing. This is about the frozen payments. I thought this was a joke. But no, this is real. And I thought that they were going to make fun of these guys. Good start, says Scott Adams, quote tweeting Owen Gregorian, saying Health and Human Services child care payments to Minnesota after massive fraud alleged. They're freezing the child care payments. And look at these two white men who want stuff to be honest. They're funny. These two stiffs.
Hello, I'm HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I'm here with Assistant Secretary Alex Adams. Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment. Second, I've just signed.
I hate this. They shouldn't be they shouldn't be giving anybody anything. I don't think. They shouldn't be giving them anything. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Yes, I do, tennis shoe. You shouldn't be giving. Why are we giving women money not to work? I mean, women money not to raise their children, and foreigners and stuff like that. I heard that people have said immigrants who come here, and same with the refugees, should not be given any welfare. And I agree with that. They shouldn't be given anything, because then they got to work at it and make their way, and then they're not spoiled to stay here. If they stay here, it's because they found a way to make it. Because some of you guys tell me in the chat that you should neither love it nor hate egg as Cloud Pops. Some of you guys have told me that these immigrants who come here and start gas stations and stuff like that, they get money or something to be able to start those businesses, where American normal people don't get those extra benefits to be able to start a business and start a gas station and stuff. I want Americans starting gas stations. You know what I mean? And I don't want, if you cut it, they will have to quit school, brainwashing farm, and not go to work, but they'll have to stay home and raise their children. Hopefully they'll raise their children a little better than the daycares will. And because these do-gooder daycare people and these teachers, I shake my head at them. So HHS freezing payments. Well, at least be white about it. As in honest. Keep it honest. Imagine all that mess. Because if you're going to give something to somebody, you got to make sure that they actually deserve it, or aren't completely dishonest about it. That's a lot of extra work. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let me see if I have more here. Isn't that kind of funny? They look funny. They're just shout out. I like that. Okay, voter shenanigans in Nevada real quick. This was an interesting thing. Molly Hemingway, editor at a Federalist, senior journalism fellow, Hillsdale, Fox News contributor, very smart woman, respected by everyone. Je suis Charlie. That's her bio. And I think that's kind of true. Senator Cortez Masto says non-citizens cannot and do not vote in Nevada. Department of Justice knows our elections are safe and secure. This is all about placating the president's conspiracy theories because he refuses to accept Nevada voters' decision in the 2020 election. Posts she, December 13th, 2025, well into Trump's second term, that is. After Trump's return, the DOJ has sued Nevada over access to voter registration data. The state says requests include sensitive personal information, says the news. What a weird, panicky thing to say about hiding your records from review. about something that happens in all states without assiduous attention to non-citizen voting. Is Nevada perhaps far worse than average? Remember Maricopa County in Arizona was possibly having issues. Nevada, too, not far from there, having questions. As Scott Adams said, if there is motive and there's opportunity, there's going to be something happening, for messing with the elections. There's certainly motive, there's certainly opportunity, and there is proven dishonesty among Democrats, among the people, our neighbors, our friends, Terrible. White liberal fatigue says imported TV with a super chat over here. Let me just show it to you guys. White liberal fatigue, shaking head emoji, light skin head shaking emoji. Oh, come on, don't blame us. I mean, don't blame us white liberals. Am I a white liberal? Yeah. I know. It was imported TV doxing himself as a light-skinned person. It's certainly not right. Speaking of the so-called white liberals, thank you, imported TV. I don't like that term. Because the reason that I don't like that is because it feels safe to attack the white liberals. I know, no offense to you, of course, imported TV. Thank you for your super chat. It feels all politically correct to go after like these white liberal white women. And yeah, they're ridiculous. It's embarrassing to be a liberal and you're white. Come on, what kind of white are you? You must be like Jewish, or what else could you be that makes it make more sense to be white and liberal? Maybe Irish, Italian, something where you're caught up in identity and mama, stuff like that. To be like a normal white and a liberal, it doesn't make sense unless like you had broken family, where you don't think straight. You don't think like your father, logical, or you don't have appreciation for men. You hate men. Then it makes sense to be a liberal and white. I guess there's an explanation for everything. Emotional, intellectual, if you're educated, all prideful, college student, yeah. It really grinds my gears. So anyway, it's a white liberal rant. But I wanted to show you one last quick thingamajigger. Zohran. Because New York thinks that they can see through stuff. Laura Loomer, our favorite Jewish investigative journalist gal, formerly blonde, now black-haired, former Project Veritas. America First. Been on the JLP show. One thing I don't see anyone talking about is how Zohran Kwame Mamdani had the AG of New York, the Attorney S. General, Letitia, Big Tish James. She's not Big Tish. You're not supposed to call her that. Tish James, swear him in as mayor on a Koran. When I was a kid, we spelled it Koran. The conservatives sometimes still spell it Koran. The liberals, AP, just before 9/11, by the way, in the year 2000, AP started spelling it Quran, Quran. And some of them spell it Qur''an, Quran, to try to be more and more closer and closer, more and more accurate or precise to how they say it. inside a tunnel. 100% an homage to Hamas, states she. I don't know. Is she reading into this? And to globalize the intifada. Intifada. I don't know how to, whatever that is. He is signaling the beginning of his Islamic conquest from a tunnel, or communist conquest, same thing, right? Islam is socialism in religious garb, says the great Bill Lockwood. Loomer Unleashed. Zohran gives himself 2 ceremonies. This is the 1st of January, right? New Year's Day. Earlier this morning, Zohran Mamdani sworn in, and I like to say it, Zohran. You know me, I like to say it, pronounce it right, but I like to spell it wrong or old. Not wrong, but old. Did you know that Muslim used to be spelled M-O-S-L-E-M? Moslems. I didn't know that. I was having a conversation or / argument with Grok just this morning. I like how this gal pronounces his name and other stuff. And then he spells it, he pronounces it the correct way. Sworn in as New York City mayor by Tish James, the black female joke of an attorney general. At least he's on a higher step so he looks taller. Because I think he might be shorter than her. In New York City, blah, 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 in the abandoned thing, take the thing. At 1 p.m. local time that day, New Year's Day, Sandy Cortez, AOC, and Bernie Sanders, both communists themselves, if you will, or democratic socialists, meaning the mob voted their own self-destruction, will be on stage as Zohran takes the public oath of office. Tish attempted to jail President Trump before the election. AOC will be leading the charge to obstruct Trump if Democrats take back the House. Getting Trump is the theme of Zohran's inauguration. I thought we were supposed to like him now, because Trump, son to him? Son, you're gonna have to work with me here. He's like, yes, sir. Because Zohran's a beta and Trump is an alpha. Check this out from how she pronounces it and everything. Here, let me just turn this down just to make sure it's not blasting your ears.
Repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I, Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
Kwame
Mamdani,
I,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Liar! He's lying! His wife is really pretty, by the way. At least they have a pretty first lady.
United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Charter of the City of New York,
and the Charter of the City of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
the
duties of the
Oh, but he met her on an app. I mean, shout out to the app people. They went on the internet app thing and met through that. I guess that's how people do it nowadays. Even the older people are doing that nowadays.
office of
the
Mayor of the City
This is so phony.
of New York,
the Mayor of the City of New York,
according to the best of my ability.
So
help me
Why does she sound happy?
God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
And this is inside. It says City Hall. It's a beautiful, stylish thing. Abandoned tunnel thing, subway, unused subway tunnel thing, City Hall. But she says, Laura Loomer, who invented, who's that queen that we don't like right now? Marjorie Trader Greene. She invented Marjorie Trader Greene, and Trump said, I have to steal that from you. Shout out. She has a very high verbal IQ. She's Jewish and smart. So, isn't that nice?
Repeat after me.
Yeah. I,
Raise your right hand.
I,
I,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
did she say Mamdani? I don't know. Oh, and it's on a Koran, of course. Quran. Oh, I already said that. All right. So, I still spell it Koran. Kind of like I learned Louis Farrakhan, right? But Jesse Lee pronounces it Farrakhan. Are you a Farrakhan or a Farrakant? I got to get to calls here, guys. John in Kentucky on the line here. I don't want to make John wait. How you doing, John?
I'm doing all right, man.
Happy New Year.
Got a few little odd things to ask you.
Sounds good.
All right, first one, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I kind of do, but I can't necessarily think of them, but I do definitely have New Year's resolutions, actually.
Would one of them be being a doormat by any chance?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that one, but yeah, I suppose that's supposed to be a resolution. It is our assignment for the year. But I'm supposed to be a better doormat than the normal white man doormat thing.
Hey, man, that's hilarious to me, man. Why would anybody want to be a doormat, man? Oh, man, I wanted to call in y'all's church. I wanted to call in so bad,
That's
but y'all
funny.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, do you think Trump would ever be a doormat? Just be honest.
Yeah. He actually is quite humble. He is a doormat for America.
Hey, that makes no sense, but I knew you would say that, so I'm just gonna let it slide. He wouldn't be a doormat for anybody. That's not in his personality.
That's why he's a great leader, huh?
I wouldn't say he's a great leader.
Okay.
But my serious question is, because I'm not too into politics, nor do I understand all this stuff. But
Same.
could you explain the Venezuelan kidnapping of Maduro?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
A little bit. So in 2020, Trump administration charged him with some type of crimes. It was not Biden, actually. It was Trump. And in this couple presidential terms later, he followed through with those charges and went after him. And Venezuela is kind of a problem in that they're in cahoots and in bed with, I guess, maybe China and Russia. And China and Russia and Venezuela are not totally friendly to America. And Venezuela has these gangs like Tren de Aragua and some other alleged gang that's kind of the government in bed with the criminals. And so Maduro, he supposedly cheated on his election and won his election by cheating. And he's been sort of defiant and a problem, and Trump has been trying to work with him, and he's been playing tough guy, Maduro has, so Trump played bigger tough guy and took him. That's my understanding. And it charged him with some crimes, I guess.
So it has nothing to do with drugs and oil? None of it? Because that's what everybody's talking about.
The drugs and the oil are part of, the drugs and the oil are part of the crimes that he's alleged to be doing. So oil, they sell oil on the black market, I heard. 80% of their oil is sold on the black market. Something like that, according to the Morning Brew. And black market, big customers include China and Russia. That's how I know about China and Russia. China, I think Chinese President Xi was over there the very night that this thing went down, by the way. So Trump did a big move to flex his muscles on China as well. But oil too. And
so will it hurt us as Americans? Will it hurt us like what's going on with the kidnapping and everything? Or
hopefully it'll help us. It could hurt us because anything that you do can hurt or help.
Yeah, I listen to videos on TikTok, but I just can't understand that stuff. I just don't understand because it's never what it seems. It's always
Totally.
It's never what it seems, and I don't understand it. And I
No.
can't have conversations with people about it because everybody think they know what's
know
what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. I heard that drugs, he sends cocaine to here, America, I guess. And then the oil, we've been stopping their oil tankers from traveling and shooting down their alleged drug boats. People say, oh, they're not the biggest drug thing. But I think it's all the combination I think it's a combination of issues that make them a target for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So hopefully we
man.
do. I like Trump in that, you know how we were in the Middle East and supposedly it was for oil, but we didn't take the oil. And Trump is like, we should have taken the oil. But Trump is more shameless than the phony politicians who pretend like they're not about the oil. Whereas Trump is like, no, we're about the oil. Let's make some money.
Well, see, that's what America has always been about. When y'all come to y'all's colonizing, y'all just take what you want. You don't really do it righteously. You just take it.
Well, I think Trump is doing it righteously.
Well, I mean, that's what I'll say. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to look at it. But
Totally.
some people do.
Yeah.
And the people I hear on TikTok talking about it, they seem like they are a little bit more articulate about the topic than what you just said to me.
Of
I couldn't
course.
understand you.
Yeah, they're articulate, but a lot of times articulate people they have an agenda as well.
Well, they could be or could not as well.
Yeah.
But they use history. They use history to try to explain it.
Right.
But, yeah, I just can't get with that.
Totally.
Man, it was something else I wanted to ask you before you left, but hell, I don't know now. So
history is fake news, FYI. Oftentimes.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
Not true.
It's totally fake a lot of the time.
No, you guys make up history. Like you just rearrange history. That's why y'all trying to get rid of black history right now, because you don't want the next generation of people knowing how evil white people were. So y'all just getting rid of it all of a sudden.
Not true, man. I like to have a balance. I like to let people know, the young people know, there were good and bad things done by the slave masters and by the slaves and by the colonies and the presidents. There's always.
I wouldn't say bad. I would use the word evil because the people y'all call heroes are not heroes to us. Black people I'm talking about. They're not heroes to us. Like General Jackson, he's not a hero.
Andrew
he's an
Jackson?
American. Okay, Andrew Jackson.
Oh,
he's an American.
The other
he's an American hero.
Yeah.
The president was famous for like having duels and killing all the Indians, Trail of Tears, and all that.
I think that's Andrew. I forget. Yeah, I think it's Andrew Jackson. Yeah.
Okay.
He may have gone overboard. I don't know, but he was great.
Overboard.
But he might have been terrible as well. Great and terrible. Sometimes you got to take strong action. Yeah, maybe like that, but he was more smiled upon universally, more universally smiled upon by white people. Yes. White people tend to be fair-minded though, man.
Man, white people are not fair-minded.
How about in your common experience with the white people with whom you interact in your everyday life?
Hey, white people that you interact with, they give you that little fake smile. They kind of like grin.
Yes.
Like you walk by, they grin.
Right.
It's so fake. I can see right through it.
I know.
But, I mean, I do the same thing, and I just deal with white people on a daily basis, and I'm, nice and respectful, but I can see straight through it. I know they don't. I know they want to live in a white world just like you do, but they have to deal with diversity now because it's here to stay and it ain't going back. So y'all can keep whining about it, but it ain't going nowhere. So I mean, white people are decent, but also there's a ton of white people. I was just looking at this thing the other day in Kentucky about Appalachia and how they're all into drugs and everything.
Yeah,
and most of them don't work and everything, and that just goes to show you that poverty and lack of resources put you in a bad position. So, when black people are living in the ghettos and they're living in certain places where they don't have a lot of opportunity, it's going to be bad. I don't care if you're white, black, or whatever race you are. It's going to be bad. So, y'all can look down on black people and think we're inherently like that, but I don't think we are, because if we were doing good in the 50s, if we had the same opportunities and stuff like that today, I don't think we'd be in this situation.
So you think it has, but you've sort of swallowed the communist line of poverty and opportunity and stuff like that. Whereas people have opportunities, it's just they're not raised right.
They would have to move somewhere else to have opportunity.
Because I believe that all people are evil, not that most people are good stuff.
I don't agree with all people are evil.
The reason, but God said all have sinned.
Yeah, all have sinned, but what about when you ask God for forgiveness and everything, and you quit doing what you've been doing, and you change?
Well, if that's rare.
I'm not evil. I can say I used to do evil things, but I'm not evil, so I don't agree with that.
All right.
And most people I know that I associate with aren't evil. I try to stay away from people who are evil.
Well, yeah, there's certainly a line of evil that you deal with, and there's a line of evil that you don't deal with. Definitely. That's just common sense and wisdom.
I guess there's degrees of evil, but when I think of evil, I think of like super bad. Like people are going to slip up and do some stupid things, but people who are inherently killing and doing the R word and stealing and being evil and greedy, that's evil. But all the little small stuff, I don't consider that evil.
Right.
Y'all are evil.
You said y'all are evil?
Yeah, y'all are evil. Y'all's little network y'all got going on.
Us? What are we doing?
Y'all are racist. Y'all racist, man.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with what? Being racist?
Yeah.
Because you have to hate. You have to hate to be racist.
Not true. Not true.
Yeah, true.
No, because let's say the stuff that I say about black people.
Yeah, it's not true.
But it's not, whether it's true or not. That's just how I see it. I'm not hating. I like criminals.
See? Black people aren't criminals, man.
Some are.
Yeah, but y'all put a blanket over most. Not all, but most. No. It's a small percentage, man. If y'all got to know the majority of black people, you just know that we're different, like culturally, demeanor-wise. Like we're different that way. We're not just criminals. We're not just born criminals, man. It's just a certain type of black.
But I wasn't saying that black people are criminals.
Bumpkins.
I was just making the point that I even like my illegal friends. I still like my friends. I wouldn't put any type of shenanigans past them or dishonesty or crime past them. But
you know what I would say?
Yeah.
Those illegals that come over here.
Yeah.
They're the same way. They're a small percentage are like criminals like you're talking about. But those are actually good people, hardworking people that are trying to do the best thing for their families. I think they're like better than white people. They have better character than white people. They work harder than white people. That's the way I look at them. I try to befriend them. I don't look down on them. White people look at them as like dumb.
Watch your wallet. Hold your wallet.
Nah.
I hold my wallet
from a white man.
A white man's not going to steal your wallet as fast as an Hispanic.
Man, a white man
per capita.
White people are evil, Hake, to the extreme.
I don't deny it.
To the extreme.
Nice.
It is what it is. That's how y'all are, man. I'll let you go. I ain't gonna over talk.
All right. Take care, John in Kentucky. Kentucky
All
John.
right.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Alex in California on the line over here. Alex, good to hear from you, sir.
Happy New Year, Hakey Bear.
To you as well.
Am I coming in clear? I'm in a different area right now.
It's coming in fine.
Okay, cool. Who is that right now?
John in Kentucky. He's really something.
Yeah. I mean, it turned into just kind of like rage bait at the end there. Like, we get it. You don't like whites.
Right.
But yeah, watch your wallet around whites. That's a truth right there, huh?
Yeah.
In general, I think that whole thought and mindset of this black-white stuff, that's still last season. We're on the Jays running America right now. Like, he needs to catch up.
Yeah.
Someone's got to like hold his hand and walk him through with what's going on right now. Like we're past all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, I've had a decent New Year's or whatever, but I had a situation indirectly happen before New Year's, and I just wanted to get your opinion on this. It's a bit of a puzzle I'm trying to solve.
Okay.
Maybe I'm a little black-pilled and the devil's holding me or something, making me question. But God has a plan for all of us. Is that a thing, or is that some corny Christian stuff?
You know, it sounds so corny hearing that, but I would say I would say yes. I would say yes.
We want to feel like there is, at least, right, for each one of us in the world or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of freedom to fail, but you know how like the less you do, the better off you are in terms of
right
stuff. You know what I mean. That's how God's plan, in my understanding, unfolds best. Whereas the more you do, you end up messing with that plan and trying to make your own plan and finagle your own life, and then you mess up your life.
I would lean more towards that as well.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of gonna interlock a few things here, but it's all gonna come together. So the other thing that I hear is, Jesus is on your right side and the devil's on your left side, and in every situation you're doing, and God or Jesus is hoping you're going to go with him, and the devil's trying to pull you to him in everything in life. Do you think that's is that somewhat true, or is that more corny Christian stuff?
I don't even know if that's even Christian. It's sort of a secularized Christian-ish idea, and I don't know if it's true.
The way to make people behave correctly. Just a scam.
It's sort of I'm picturing like a cartoon, because you see this pictured in cartoons where people do that to Peter Griffin and others. I think of it as that's sort of like an observation on what seems to be going on in your mind, but I think they're both the devil.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because the devil making you judge yourself even before you do it, and the devil making you do it, it's both the same.
It's all a mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big mess.
Yeah.
And then the last question to lock it all in here: does God answer prayers?
Oh, I would say like real ones. I don't know. This is so interesting. I would say kind of like he already.
One, and I know I shouldn't be consulting Hake, the oracle, on this. He doesn't have all the answers, but I just wanted what your opinion on it is.
I would say the right prayers he already has, if that makes sense. Like, you know how like the people in the Bible, if we're gonna go with the Bible way, which I kind of am, I was raised that way. The people God heard the prayers of the people and sent Jesus and made the way.
So like a mass amount of people praying for the well-being of others, or like goodness, not in a selfish way. That's the quote-unquote correct way to pray, right?
No, I don't think that is, because that's just, I don't think that God's interested in that. I don't even really know what praying is. Praying seems to be more like waiting and listening and being quiet, if it's the way like Jesse Lee's, silent prayer. And then you catch a little bit of, a light bulb comes on. That seems like perhaps that's God answering prayer by awakening you, opening your eyes, and that's his speaking to you as you become aware of the answer to a situation, or how you don't know what to do, you pause, and then the answer comes. That's you. That pausing is a prayer, and the answer coming is God's answer to your prayer. Maybe.
So, in your opinion, do you think like I guess I'll repeat myself, a mass amount of people praying for like the well-being of one person who's like, let's say on death's doorstep, praying for an intervention for them to like make it or whatever. Is that like incorrect and selfish still?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where I'm kind of mind effing myself a little bit with this, but that's where I've kind of landed too.
Yeah.
And I feel like almost at the point where, I guess it sounds dramatic, but it's like I feel like I don't even have business asking God for anything or praying because of what I just experienced. Not to sound like selfish, but the prayers weren't answered, and it was not just me; it was probably hundreds of thousands of people, maybe a million, for another being. And yeah, I don't know. Like I felt like maybe I'm just being corny about all this. Maybe that's not how prayer works.
I think that's the case. That there might have been instances in the Bible where people prayed for one another like that, or prayed for this or that to happen. But it was
like real quick, not to interrupt, but like I feel like if you're praying for something to happen, you're interrupting God's plan per se. Does that make sense?
yeah, and you're trying to. It's kind of like wishing for cheating, because much of the time people are in a situation because of the way they lived, or the way that people live creates that situation, and they're in that situation because they weren't praying and aware and seeking God in all that they did, so they got themselves in a bad situation.
Yeah, this one, I don't want to get specific with it because
Yeah.
we'll just get ripped apart by all the commies in the snake pit. But
Right.
basically, it's a situation of human error where two beings passed away, and like it definitely should. Those beings already had a rough start and past, so it was just kind of like very unfair that it happened to them. And
Yeah.
you know, lots and lots of people were like praying like this being makes it, and it just didn't happen. So I'm like, okay, so I don't want to be all dramatic and be like, you know, God didn't answer our prayers, blah blah blah. But at the same time, I'm like, this kind of just it feels maybe like we're trying to cheat, like you said, or we're interrupting the so-called plan, even though that plan may be like really devastating.
Yeah.
In the end, I don't know how it all works. It's just a little demoralizing. Like I said, I feel like I don't really have business praying at this point, or I need to figure out what that actually even means. Because I thought we were supposed to pray for other beings and like wellness and good for other people and stuff, you know?
I think a couple of things about that. One is if you look around all over the world, the atheists will note, and honest people will note, that injustice, unfairness, death befalls everyone, befalls all kinds of people. And it's like uneven, like this whole life isn't fair notion.
Yeah. And I know that's cheesy to say, but yeah.
And then the other thing is God and life, they don't concern themselves with death the way that we do, and misfortune and stuff. Life goes on, as Tupac sang.
Yeah. And like you said, life isn't what happens to you. That one's still sticking with me.
Yeah. Interesting, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, kind of situation just kind of, I'll be honest, just kind of demoralized me because, like I said, I was thinking I was doing something good by praying for others, but it just seems kind of like empty words at this point.
Yeah, I think it is. I really do.
Well, on a happier note, I hope you did have a good New Year's, and I hope this year goes well. And don't really care about Venezuela. I think we should take their oil, and hopefully we can get these gas prices down a little bit, if that's even how it works.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Appreciate hearing from you, Alex.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too. Take care. Jeff in Louisiana. How you doing, Jeff, over there?
Pretty good, Hake. How about you, Dave?
Doing fine. Good to hear from you.
Pretty good. Man, I just want to answer John's question a little bit. The Venezuela thing was mainly about four things. Drugs, which it was the cocaine, but you want to eliminate drugs. The oil, yes, we do want the oil, but the thing is, since Hugo Chavez was in there, 25, 26 years ago, became leader over there.
Yeah.
They haven't rebuilt. They haven't invested nothing in their oil infrastructure, so they're not producing the oil they can. So that's why I watched Trump's press conference Saturday morning. That's why he's getting our oil companies to go in there and rebuild infrastructure to draw it out of the ground. So, it'd be more. I think they're producing like 75% of the oil they can.
Yeah.
So, that will help out there.
Trump said that they were stealing our oil or something like that.
Well, yes. I'm not exactly sure on what exactly happened there, but to some point it was, but they're giving it to China and Russia at discounted prices, which is hurting us too.
Yeah. U.S. oil companies were in Venezuela, and now I think only Chevron had like a permit, a U.S. permit to be in there, and they're trying to put others. Look at this: 80% of Venezuela's oil is sold on the black market, per some guy who's a Latin American energy program at Rice University. China and Russia, big customers, like you said. The only U.S. company operating in Venezuela is Chevron, using a special license. American companies ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips both exited Venezuela in the nationalization of the oil push, because they nationalized their oil, meaning the government took it over, suing the government for the Venezuelan government, I think, for billions of dollars in restitution. In arbitration, they were awarded fractions of the amounts they sought, and Venezuela did not even pay those amounts in full. So with these lawsuits and stuff like that and shenanigans that they pulled, yeah, I think that could be beneficial to America to get this straightened out.
One thing you did do Saturday, he sent a message to Russia, because who was Maduro. Russia was providing Maduro with military intelligence about when we was coming.
Oh, wait, what?
Russia was providing them like the radar and stuff to let them know to keep an eye on us when we were coming.
Interesting.
So that either says we're closer to Russia than people think, or Trump will send a message to Putin, we can do this to you.
Right. Yeah, I think that's partly what I like about it, is it sent a message to our enemies that we can do crazy things. And Trump is crazy. He'll do it. Crazy in a good way.
Friday morning, I saw an interview with one of the national news correspondents were interviewing Trump in the White House, and he was talking about Venezuela, and he said they don't F around with us.
Right.
So Trump says it out. Says that the words out.
Nice.
He said that Friday morning. Why did Friday night took him out?
Wow.
So you got. And I saw a little thing this morning. I don't know if it's true or not, but some buddy of Trump's or somebody that he's close to, as a billionaire, has offered him $250 billion to run for a third term.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a guy on YouTube that does it, research this stuff, and he had a video on this morning. And he says one of them offered him $250 billion to run for a third term.
If Trump makes it to June 14th, he'll turn 80.
Yeah, I know that. Dude, they were trying, but
But he's kicking.
He's moving better than I am. I'll put it that way. And I'm half his age.
Say again?
I said he's moving better than I am. I'm half his age.
I know. I wish you well, man.
Have a good, man.
All right. You too. Take care. Always cool to hear from Jeff in Louisiana. David in Texas is on the line over here. David, thank you for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
Hello, young man.
Hey,
Thank you for taking my call.
thank you for calling and holding.
Happy New Year to you.
And to you.
Miss all you guys.
Yeah.
All of you.
Even the anchor baby.
Even the anchor baby.
Who is coming up next,
Flying high.
but not on pot.
So I can neither confirm nor deny that I was part of the extraction team that went down to Venezuela to get Maduro.
Right on. I don't
And I can neither
disclose things
confirm
either.
nor deny that I was the one that was taking the picture of him on the Osprey.
Was it an Osprey, actually?
I know.
I heard that they put him on like the USS Iwo Jima, which sounds like a aircraft carrier. But they must have flown him to that
Yeah.
aircraft carrier, right? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was crazy, though.
Yeah. That's awesome. 80 people killed, I heard, though. Terrible. Rest in
Right.
peace. But not Americans, but Colombians or some Cubans, I heard, were either Cubans or Colombians. Somebody was allegedly, according to Trump, trying to help protect Maduro. Not a good move, said Trump, I heard.
Trump is he's something else, man. I mean,
Yeah. He likes to be
I don't know.
unpredictable. I would not have predicted this.
No.
I was surprised and not surprised because it's Trump.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had all that equipment parked out there in the water for a long time, and I guess they were just, I don't know if they were trying to really work with him or what, but they were definitely studying his situation and his every move.
Yeah.
That's a pretty exacto nice kind of extraction,
Right.
Went right after the boil,
Yeah.
lanced it.
Yeah. The part of the problem, though, with countries like that, which is what's going to make it tricky, as with everything in life, is that all people are evil. And that whole country, although there are many Venezuelans who are happy about this, you can't trust their culture to elect good leadership. Even though his election was maybe fraudulent, like they say, the people of Latin America, they fall to like socialism so easily. Corruption,
Yeah.
dishonesty.
Yeah.
It's a mess. So
Sounds
see what happens.
sounds like our country.
yes, it's totally the same. I'm with you. And
Because
it's not
we've
just
got
because of
so
them.
many. Because we have so many outsiders. I heard a guy on a podcast this morning. It wasn't from this morning, but I listened to it this morning, and he said that since I want to say the 60s or 70s, whenever they really started opening up the border,
Yeah.
that it's upwards to 90 million. I think that's legal maybe and illegal
Yeah.
immigrants that are here. But man, that's a third of the country.
True. And they have more children
That's
than
a
us.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Not than me. I've done my share, buddy. I've done my share.
Nice. How many kids did you make, if you don't mind doxing?
5.
Not too bad. Yeah, I don't feel
Yeah,
too
not
bad.
too
If I think about it, my dad had 5 kids. 1, 2, 3. My 3 older siblings had 4 kids each. So
There you go.
I can
There you
afford to
go.
be the flake.
Oh, there's still time.
Yeah. I mean, not that 4 is a
There's
good
still time.
size, or 5. I mean, it's okay. But yeah, there is time.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to pay for any more though. My gosh.
Really?
I'm paying dearly
Oh.
every year.
So
30 grand a year, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Child support.
That's evil.
And I tell you what, if there is an epitome of what Jesse talks about as far as the women turning the children against the father, I'm a poster child.
Wow. They
Yeah,
really
it's
were able to
crazy.
do that to you, huh? Did you have a
for
hand
sure.
did you have a hand in raising them?
No.
Okay.
No, I drive. I drive the truck and pay child support. That's about it. I mean, whatever little bit of input I have it's very limited.
How many mothers?
And it's just 4.
4 mothers, 5 children.
White on the outside, black on the inside.
So, which was it? The first that you had 2 with? Was it the middle that you had 2 with? Was it the last that you had 2 with?
The last I had 2 with.
And you're not getting along with any of them, the women.
No, and they're all friends. I mean, I wouldn't say they're all friends, but they all know each other. Yeah.
So you're kind of like Jesse's grandpa, except Jesse's grandpa had them getting along.
Oh yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. I was willing to move to Nevada or Utah,
Yeah.
but couldn't get any followers. Couldn't get any takers.
That's funny. You're
No
talking
takers on that one.
Mormon style?
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
Right. I'd have them all sister wives, but they were not having none of it.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Oh yeah, you can say that. It's interesting, all right.
And you're white on the outside.
Yes. White.
Yeah. Did you have your parents? Both parents?
No, my parents were married for 54 years. My mom passed away, and then my dad remarried. My mom made it to like 75, about 75 years old, and my dad was 90 when he passed away. So no, they're both gone.
Oh, okay. But growing
I
up,
have
you
a
had
brother.
them.
Oh, for sure, yeah, they were pretty good people. But I've started to see where my mother, she would always tell me that I could do no wrong,
Oh, so you did. You did the drugs, being like, I can do no wrong, just doing drugs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I understand that.
She babied me.
Yep.
She babied me, and I was the last of the 3 in the litter. So.
Okay. Yeah. Spoiled.
Yeah,
you were basically the first
surprise.
grandchild. Oh, okay.
I was a big surprise.
Was she like 40 or something?
Yeah, like my dad was 40, my mom was 37, my sister was 17, and my brother was 18 when I came along.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is almost
my
a first
sister
grandchild.
was gone out of the house, and my brother they were both gone pretty much by the time I was 2.
Yeah.
So I was the baby for sure.
It's funny how parents turn all soft and they overdo it for the first kid, and then they just way underdo it. By overdo it meaning like strict and
Yeah. Oh yeah, strict.
The first kid is kind of like
they don't know because they don't, I think it's because they don't know what in the world to expect. They don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
It's people don't, they just see everybody else is doing it, so they have children, because it's supposed to be the order of things or how things are supposed to happen. And I don't think they have a clue. Hell, I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I still do, but I'm getting better. But yeah, it's a little disconcerting, man, when you don't, when you have no real hand in what's going on. The only time the mothers will ever contact me is to discipline the children for not obeying the mother, Yeah. And it's like,
right.
Yeah, you're on your own. I mean, I'll talk to them, but
yeah,
but I don't get on to them,
nice.
Or shame them or I've learned a little bit.
Right on, man.
I appreciate you.
And you too. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You have a great day, and I look forward to the new year with you and the 2 Live crew over there.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Before I get back to the calls, I see a super chat over here. If I can find a way, I know we can. There's Donald Trump, 79 years old, born June 14th, Flag Day, 1946. Speaking of Trump, Greggatron says, good to hear your voice again. Kin folk, thumbs up, American flag. Shout out Greggatron. Thank you, sir. Good to hear from you. Appreciate the support as always and the feedback. Let me check over here on the coffees because Eric bought a couple over here. By a couple, I mean a couple of messages. 5 coffees. What is compassion? Women say, be compassionate. Have compassion, quote unquote, for yourself and others. The definition is evil, sympathetic pity, and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. Compassion, sympathetic pity, concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. What women are really saying is, cater to the hell in me so I can control you like a puppet. Compassion, comply to my emotion. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, it's getting into your emotions. You know, you remind me, Eric, if I can interrupt your coffee, I think I might do that. Is if you mosey on over to rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, you can read about the silent prayer, which is the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Nothing in there about, oh, heal my friend. You know, referring to Alex in California's call. What his misunderstanding perhaps about prayer was that we're supposed to pray for others to heal, for others other than ourselves. Is it all selfish? It's a different notion. It has to do with thoughts and emotions about, oh, that person should be healed. It's not fair. Dead. Killed by an illegal. You know, these angel parents. Is that what they're called? When an illegal gets drunk driving and kills an American on the road. Perfect peace. It's a nice one. Many Christians don't even believe you can have perfect peace in this life. But the prophet Isaiah, I think, said, you will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Isaiah 26:3. Christ said, take no thought for your life or about tomorrow. Each day has enough evil of its own, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all shall be added to you. He's commanded, do not worry. Yet Christians worrying. A mess. Harmony says, Hake, do you pray with words as well as the silent prayer? Sometimes I slip and be like, oh, I'm thinking I'm praying. Old habit, I guess, Harmony. But like I said, I don't know what prayer actually is because the Bible doesn't say what it actually is. And you know me, I'm white. I like definitions. Eric, 5 coffees being a doormat, quote unquote, isn't letting people walk all over you. It's not reacting emotionally. Let them walk all over the ego, your ego. And that happens when you have no identity, which means you don't know who you are. When you're asked, who are you? And you honestly don't know, then you're a doormat because you have no defensive reaction. Where you disrespecting me? No, you don't know who you are, so you don't know what? and there's no one to defend. You see what's right. There's no judgment. You remain in the isness and take the next step, states Eric with his 5 more coffees. Yeah, I was arguing with Grok, like I said, about not arguing, because Grok agreed with me, actually. I don't like how this thing... Okay, yes. Moses was the most humble man in the world. Yes, the Bible literally says that. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. Now then, Moses, Numbers 12:3. Moses was very humble, more humble than anyone else in the face of the earth. NIV translation. Many versions use meek instead of humble. The Hebrew word... Why did I say, make Hebrew sound like it's Downs? Shout out to Downs and Hebrew. Conveys gentleness, humility, and lack of self-assertion. This statement appears right in the middle of a family drama. Miriam, his sister, and Aaron, his brother, criticized Moses partly out of jealousy over his unique relationship with God. Claims Grok, all right? We don't know if it's true. AI doesn't know. Moses stays completely silent. Kind of like Jesus. So humble and meek, he doesn't rise to personal attacks. And then, so I go down here. Oh, they use the black vernacular with clap back. He didn't clap back. And that comes from some rap song. And I'm like, stop. Okay. So I'm arguing with him about his black vernacular. But I wanted to... Oh, and I told him to use the lowercase b in black. And circle back. Where did I get Trump? Okay. Trump. There we go. Trump is like Moses, the most humble man in the world. Trump said something like, let's see. He begged his brother Fred Trump to run first, the one who died of alcoholism or something like that, or related to alcohol, perhaps. Where did Trump say? Yeah, Fred died from drinking. Yeah, okay, so he said, what the heck? Okay. You will not meet. Here's that. Meet. I'm the most humble person you'll ever meet. I think I am actually humble. I'm the most humble person you'll ever meet. Probably the most humble person I know. That's a quote of Trump. Because remember I had Free Willful on the show, William? Free Willful? I debated him in Modern Day Debate. He's a liberal young man. Smart science guy as well. Better than Bill Nye, okay? Perhaps. And Free Willful said, Trump actually said that he's the most humble person in the world. Nice. So, he's a doormat. Eric, and Greggatron. Shout out. And Harmony. Trump's humility. Very nice. All right. I just had to show that to you guys. Let me just double check here. Oh, yeah, praying. That's funny. All right. So let me... Before we close out, I want to get to Jesse in California. Jesse, how you doing?
Yeah. This is it Jesse Lee Peterson?
Is this Jesse Lee? Hold on, sir. Your phone is messed up and you don't seem to know what's going on. Let me put you on hold. We'll check on you. Let me get to Timothy in New Mexico, I think.
Yes, that's correct.
Hey, first-time caller. What's up, man?
Nothing much. I just scrolled through your video just now, and you were mentioning something about people walking all over you if you can't identify yourself as an individual. Is that accurate? Like,
No. He said if you're not identifying with yourself, then you're not bothered by people trying to walk all over you. They can't walk all over you. You're a doormat, but in a good way, in that you allow people to walk all over you, meaning like step on your ego because you have no ego, or you realize that you don't identify with your ego.
and what's your definition of ego?
Pride, sense of self, like your sense of yourself. If you have this eager or this inward pull to defend yourself, if somebody embarrasses you or whatever, you have a little separation where you can be like, separate from that embarrassment and defensiveness and realize there's no need for that.
Okay, I thought ego has something to do with reality testing that regulates your delusional version of yourself. But I could be wrong, though.
No, I think that sounds related. Sounds related.
Okay. And is I'm assuming you're a Trump supporter?
Big time.
Okay, and you also debate on political issues as well. What is today's topic?
Everything. We were talking about Venezuela. We were talking about humility, being a doormat, which was an assignment from Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. All kinds of things.
So, yeah, we can address all topics because I'm very into psychology and politics as well.
Nice.
And since you first mentioned Venezuela,
yeah,
well, we might as well go there. Now, why do you think trying to overturn Maduro's regime, which has been successfully accomplished, is a good thing for the U.S. national interest?
I think Maduro was more like a fly in our ointment, and we had to get the fly out of our ointment. I don't know how successful he was, actually. I heard that inflation was out of control. The people were struggling. A lot of people had their savings just disappear. People were leaving, not because they would rather be there and build up their country, but they were not able to. I heard that it was a fraudulent election. So he was a crooked guy, and I'm okay with crooked people. Everybody's crooked, but he was a fly in our ointment, meaning he was a nuisance, and he was in cahoots with some of our enemies on top of being an enemy himself. So I think that Trump made an example out of him.
And can you please go into intricate details how Nicolas Maduro was a fly in the U.S. ointment? Like, can you please be more specific?
Yeah, a little bit. I can be not intricate details, but I know that he was selling a lot of his oil on the black market to China and Russia, and American companies had deals with Venezuela, and he was not honoring those deals. And so he was shortchanging, he and, Venezuela in general was shortchanging American companies and screwing them over and helping enemies and terrorists, I heard, with the oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that justifies the U.S. government to intrude on another country's sovereignty?
A little bit, yeah, definitely.
Nicolas Maduro backhanded.
Say again?
Nicolas Maduro didn't abide by a deal that he made with the United States government.
That was one. That's one reason that I would say would justify that. In addition to other things, You know, the drugs was a big issue, they say. And then he had a whole bunch of like criminals here in America. You ever heard of Train de Aragua?
Yes, it's some type of criminal organization.
Yeah, Venezuelan gang here in America. And so Latin America, because they're so corrupt, sending their worst to America to be a bother. So if their country gets fixed, then it's better for everybody.
And what do you think is going to happen with Americans living in Venezuela right now?
I don't know.
Do you think their lives in jeopardy?
They always were. But yes,
Okay.
they definitely could be.
You don't think the situation is actually worse since the U.S. government has arrested the Venezuelan president?
I couldn't tell you. It may or may not be worse. There's always good and bad things that come out of any action.
And overall, do you think this is a good or a bad thing to U.S. national interest?
I think overall,
or national security.
I think overall it's a good thing because it shows that Trump is crazy and he'll do whatever he sees fit to do, and they can't stop him. And that will put them on notice not to mess with us.
So other Latin American countries are going to see this.
Not just Latin America, but Russia, China, North Korea, and others.
That locking up presidents should be the normal president from now on if they don't abide by deals.
You don't seem to be aware of you don't seem to be aware that he was charged with crimes in 2020. He was charged. Are you aware of that? It wasn't just abiding by deals. I just mentioned the fly in the ointment thing.
Okay.
Are you aware that he was charged with crimes?
No, can you list the crimes?
No, but are you aware that he was charged with crimes?
No, I wasn't aware.
Really?
I believe he was accused of being a narco-terrorist or something along those lines.
Yeah, he was charged with multiple crimes. There was something about narco-terrorism and stuff. Which platform did you see me on? Twitch or something?
No, this is my first time actually scrolling through. And
on YouTube or Twitch or Rumble or what?
Yeah, YouTube.
Nice. Welcome. So you don't seem to be on board with what Trump did. You seem to think that it's dangerous. It's going to put Americans in harm's way. That it sets a precedent that Trump did something, so now other people are going to do stuff, and you don't seem to like it.
No, I'm actually just curious on your perspective.
Do you have an opinion?
Well, I don't necessarily have an opinion about it because I don't know the aftermath and whether it's going to be conducive or detrimental to U.S. National security. I have no idea. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball and can see into the future.
Yeah, but everything that you do is not necessarily about the future. It's about what's right in the moment. And right now, it seemed like that was what was right. The UN was accusing him of crimes against humanity. And I don't agree with the UN. I don't like the UN. But they claimed that his presidential win was not on the up and up. It was fraudulent. So he wasn't successful, according to them.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. I'm not there. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a show of power, strength, restraint. It's better than like what we did in Iraq, where we went into Iraq and Afghanistan with a whole bunch of troops on the ground and tried to regime change and change the culture of the people. I don't think there's any changing the culture of the people. You look at Venezuelans, they seem overall happy, at least is what we've seen. Anecdotally, we've seen that the Venezuelans are happy. The regular people are happy that that guy is arrested and facing a trial.
Well, I guess that's a good thing. I mean, like, should the United States do that to every country's leader who fallen along those lines with, election fraud and, causing havoc on their constituents? For example,
I wish
Saudi
America would
Arabia.
I wish America would do that on America. Because we have some shenanigans in our elections too, and havoc on our own people, And honestly, I'm with Mike Cernovich on this. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he said that he would love for us to have gone in to get Keir Starmer for violating the rights of the United Kingdom people. No, I don't think that we need to be going to every single group and every single country and extracting the bad leaders or criminal leaders. I think we should do it judiciously.
Judiciously?
Yeah.
Okay, so just cherry picking and
Yes.
let some people get away with nefarious activities and
Definitely.
persecute others that are doing something along those lines.
Yeah, you got to be selective and smart and pick your battles. You can't just pounce on every crook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I respect your opinion.
I
just
really
think,
appreciate
I
hearing
mean,
from you, man.
Yeah, I just figure like since 14 out of the 19 9/11 hijackers came from Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
like the U.S. should be way more focused on that, since that's like way more severe than what Nicolas Maduro has been accused of. Don't you think? But we're still allies
Maybe. I mean,
with them.
that's ancient history. And yeah, 3,000 Americans died, but a lot of people die of like fentanyl. And I don't know if fentanyl has anything to do with Venezuela, but we're talking about stuff that's affecting America right now in terms of oil and our businesses and drugs and stuff. It's like an ongoing thing. It's like you're comparing apples and oranges. Venezuela is apples, Saudi Arabia is oranges, and as you probably agree with me, apples are better than oranges. Oranges have acid. Oranges are like a treat. But apples, you need an apple a day to keep the doctor away. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I hear you. Well, yeah, I respect that you're a realist.
Yeah, yeah.
You seem pretty logical there.
Cool, man.
And so, what are the other two issues you were talking about?
You know what? Being a doormat and humility, which is kind of the same thing. I'm gonna have to wrap up. I have to end in a minute here.
No, I hear you.
Would you call me again if you ever have the chance and would like to? Welcome to the Hake Report.
Yeah, and thank you for informing me about this stuff. Like I said, I'm apolitical and I don't know too much, so
yeah,
I was just trying to get your perspective.
I know probably even less, but I do enjoy talking about it.
All right,
Happy New Year, man.
Have a great day.
You as well.
You as well.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. And Robert in Kansas and the rest of the callers and super chatters, I got to get out of here. Peace. Oh, Lord. In the Middle East, or at least in your hearts, American Anchor Baby is coming up next. Believe it or not, I believe it. And because I see him. I hear him. All right, guys. Take care, y'all. And happy to be back. See you soon. Bye.